To say the 2022 NBA offseason has been a mess for the Charlotte Hornets would be an understatement. I mean, outside of the NBA draft, there's just not many positives to take from it. It's just been L after L. By now, I'm sure anyone who keeps up with the NBA has heard about the Miles Bridges situation. And although that's a pretty huge part of why this team's direction is an absolute mess, it's far from the only reason why the Hornets appear so dysfunctional. You see, why is it that when it comes to this NBA team, over the past 2 years mainly, players on their team have been making headlines, but for reasons that got nothing to do with their play on the court? I mean, yeah, LaMelo made the All-Star team, that was great, but besides that, it's a mess. You got PJ Washington and his baby mama problems with Brittany Renner chatting her mouth. Not too long ago, Montrezl Harrell got pulled over for something as simple as weed and now faces potential felony drug charges. And then most recently, you got Miles Bridges and his disturbing charges of domestic abuse. Not to mention his double life as a part-time rapper, RTB&B. And for those that have never heard his music, just know you would not think that a pro basketball player is behind these songs. And then as far as the issues on the court, the Hornets recently rehired a coach they just fired just 4 years ago after being unable to escape the continuous mediocrity and after hoping to go in new directions. So yeah, it's just a mess for the Hornets right now. And since the Hornets are actually my local team, I don't appreciate this. So yeah, in this video, we're just going to talk about what's going on with this team and what the upcoming season may look like, being that they got all these problems. But anyway, really quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks back with another video. If you're new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and sub. Also like the video if you enjoy. I upload quality basketball content. We're grinding for 5K. We've been gaining some subs. I appreciate all the new ones, all the old ones. But back to the video. Alright, so let's get straight to the elephant in the room and talk about the man on the thumbnail. And arguably the biggest cause for concern as far as the Hornets' future, Miles Bridges. At the time of this recording, Miles Bridges has been through one court hearing where he pled not guilty to the 3 felony counts he's facing, which are all related to abuse, with the next hearing being set for August 19th. And so far, the Hornets have pretty much reacted to this situation by just releasing a super general, sort of vague statement where they're basically just saying that, hey, we're aware of this situation and that they'll be monitoring it before any further moves with Miles Bridges. And man, from what I can see on social media as far as reactions, y'all know how social media is, it's super mixed. There's a crowd of those who are just so shut off by his charges that they no longer want anything to do with him and feel as though the Hornets, they're taking too long to do the obvious, which is to just release him. Then there's a crowd of those that, kind of being sensible. They just want to see how the trial pans out. And then there's a small crowd of those that for some reason think he'll be suiting up this season and that his status as an NBA player will protect him and save him. No. Now, me personally, I can't lie. It's a mixture of the first two because obviously, if he did what he's being accused of, he won't be touching the NBA court for a really long time, whether I'm a big fan of him or not, which I am. But it's also understandable for the Hornets to be so patient in this process. I mean, let's be real. Miles Bridges is fresh off his best season yet as a pro. He almost made the All-Star team in the East. His relationship with LaMelo was super tight. They got a point guard forward tandem of being a walking highlight reel whenever both of them are on the court together. And it's up there with some of the best in the league. There's no question about it. So yeah, if the Hornets lose Miles Bridges, they lose their current brand of fun, exciting, and young basketball. I mean, it takes a huge blow that'll be hard to recover from anytime soon. And that's kind of a big deal when you're already a small market team trying to up the steps and just become more profitable. But then again, at the same time, some things are bigger than basketball. Some things are bigger than hoops, like a domestic abuse case. And at the end of the day, they need to prioritize doing the right thing, which as of this moment right now technically remains to be seen. But anyway, speaking of the right thing to do, I really do feel for the Hornets, man, because For most NBA teams, all they gotta worry about is picking up the right players, building a quality roster, and things like that. And for the most part, the Hornets were doing just that. But they seem to have struck absolute, and I'm talking about absolute fool's gold, poverty, as far as picking the right people. Players that are just gonna stay out of trouble. For instance, Montrezl Harrell really ain't do nothing wrong. Weed charges, they're not that serious. I'm sure most of us would agree with that. But he simply cannot be moving like that, carrying that much on him if he knows what's at stake, which for the Hornets means losing someone that they believe to be a quality role player for the team. But now he faces going to prison for a cool minute and the future is uncertain. So yeah, that's why I say the Hornets, man, they struck fool's gold as far as off the court issues. But anyway, moving on to their on the court issues, because off the court, that's kind of not even in their control. But on the court, they can control that side in a lot of aspects, and they keep messing up. Now, the first thing I'm gonna bring up is what I mentioned in the intro: rehiring Steve Clifford. Same coach they fired just 4 years ago. Makes no sense to me, and maybe I'm gonna need to do my research, but literally, what did they see from this man in Orlando? What did he do on the Orlando Magic that convinced the Hornets this was the right move to make after firing their previous coach, James Borrego? Please, someone tell me, what did they see? Because, man, firing James Borrego, okay, that's something I was on board with. Time for a new face. I don't really like how he played with LaMelo's minutes his first year. I don't really like how he spreads the minutes in general. So, time for a new face. I get that. But then you hire your ex-coach of 4 years ago, especially when there's better options out there. It makes no sense. Now, it is unfortunate that Kenny Atkinson, Warriors assistant coach, former Nets coach, they had some success. It is unfortunate that he backed out after saying he was going to sign with the Hornets and then doubled back to the Warriors after they won the championship. But can you really blame him? Not really, because that situation in Golden State is looking too sweet as of the moment. And even still, the market for coaches was solid. There was reports that Mike D'Antoni would be picked up by the Hornets. And even though there were people complaining that our defense is going to suck, imagine what LaMelo Ball could accomplish under a system managed by Mike D'Antoni. I know, y'all know Mike D'Antoni loves offense. Look, LaMelo was a fantastic, great offensive player. At the very least, besides the winning, we would have been entertained every single game night. But instead, we spun the block on the great Steve Clifford. Insanity. But anyway, I'm not going to drag this video out for too long. This video was really just become just a rant or just me venting. But like I said, they are the local team, so I can't deny it hits close to home. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching as always. Drop below y'all thoughts in the comments, your feelings on Miles Bridges and just the team overall. I mean, I did kind of call out the whole young core in the title, but truth be told, James Bouknight, if he gets some minutes, it's going to be exciting to see what he does. We drafted him in the lottery last year. And Kai Jones, I'm excited for his future. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching as always. Like this video up, share it, sub if new, all of that, and I'm out.